Well, hey there, rock stars. Sarah Rockin' Robbins here, coming to you live for another prospecting tip of the day. I'm speaking at an event this weekend, so hence the different background and different settings that you're seeing here. But I'm super thrilled to be with you today to be sharing some lessons on leadership, some takeaways from a talk that I'm doing today. As we get started, I would love to go ahead and get acquainted. Go ahead and shout out below who you are and where you're tuning in from. Remember, if it's your first time watching, click in number 1 so I can warmly welcome you. And as you guys are sharing more about yourself, I'm going to go ahead and share more about myself for the people that are new here today. So who am I? I'm Sarah Robbins. I'm a former kindergarten teacher turned network marketing top leader. I am also the author of the best-selling book, Rock Your Network Marketing Business. You can get on my site at sarahrobbins.com. Guys, I've got great training, great resources there, including some really incredible webinars too. Speaking of, who's coming on October 18th to our Power Presenting class? It is going to be a live masterclass. If you can't make it live, don't worry. There's going to be an on-demand replay where I teach you not how to, power present yourself, but basically how to talk to people powerfully about your business and product and get really great results. You can find all the details on my site at sarahrobbins.com. I'm super excited to be here with you today, as I am every day on weekdays, to share with you a really powerful prospecting tip of the day. Now, here's the thing. I know today's training might offend some people, but the thing that I think about offense is really it draws out the things in us that we say, man, she's speaking to me. Yeah, maybe she's speaking to me. It causes us to reflect sometimes and really grow in confidence and in character and become the leader that we are destined to be. Thank you, Megan, for purchasing the book. Oh, by the way, guys, real quick, you can get this now on audio and Kindle and hard copy on Amazon. If you order it, email your receipt to rocktheaudio@gmail.com. I'm going to give you some free gifts. All right, Gretchen's saying uh-oh. Don't worry. It's not uh-oh. Here's the thing. I know you saw the title. Are you a leader or are you a leaner? Now, I'm not diagnosing any one of you. This is a question that each one of us, we can ask ourselves. But I hope today's training really challenges you in the role of aspiring leader, or of course you leaders, how are you supporting and empowering your team? Now, I have to say I didn't get this title on my own. I got it from my business partner Stacy, who kind of sparked this thinking and reflection myself of how am I as a learner, and really how am I as a leader too. So basically, I was asked to speak as one of the top network marketing professionals in our profession to a group full of leaders and aspiring leaders, and we just got done with that session and gave a great presentation and was basically asked at the end some questions. And one of the questions that I got was, what was one of the biggest mistakes that you made as a leader? And I thought, well, gosh, that's a big question because there's so many mistakes. Mistakes are the thing that shape us. They mold us to become the leaders that we are today, right? And, when people ask the question like, what would you change? I'm like, I wouldn't change anything because all of the lessons, all of the things that I've learned have created me to become the person and the leader that I am today. But as I look back, one thing that initially came to mind was dragging people through the finish line versus speaking to people's potential, okay? So let me just kind of explain. Back in my early days, I would do everything I can to incentivize, to educate, to motivate my team. And there's nothing wrong with that, but sometimes we over-educate, we overcomplicate, we over-incentivize people to do the things that they should be doing anyways, okay? So if they're not motivated by designing a life that they love, if they're not motivated by changing their life, if they're not motivated by your company's core compensation plan and all of the programs that are put in place, what are we going to do any different? Motivation, it's internal. It's something that really comes from within. One of my mentors said, if you're working with somebody and they're not experiencing results, we've got to ask them, is there a leak in their pipeline as it relates to skill set, belief, or desire? Because only some of those things we can influence, right? I can influence your skill set. I can teach you more. Your belief, only so much encouragement that I can give you. You have to believe. But your desire, I can't change that for you. Your willing to has to be greater than your wanting to. Your willing to has to be greater than your wanting to. And we work with the willing, right? Or we work with the working, right? And we love the rest of them, or we create systems for the rest of them. How do you know who's willing? You watch their feet and not their mouth. You look at the things that they're doing, right? That they're coachable, they're committed, they're putting in the work that it takes. And sometimes, in the beginning days, I would try so hard to mold people and shape people and move people. And I realized real quickly that I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, right? Here's what I know that my responsibility is as a leader, and all of you as an aspiring leader. And if you're leading one person, well, you're leading somebody. My responsibility is getting them off to a really great start. Now, here's the thing. Ultimately, I don't believe that you are responsible for people's success or failure. That person has to own whether or not they continued on, and they also get to own their own victories too. It's not fair to say, oh, they're successful because I'm successful, but it's also not fair to say, well, you know what? They're not successful because I didn't do the right thing. No, because where there's a will, there's a way, right? But I am responsible to get people off to a great start. So during those first 30 days, if you were working with me, I'd be talking about inviting language. Who do you share this with and how? And how to get them on a phone call with me. We'd be doing 3-way calls. By the way, my webinar on the 18th is all on power presenting. We're going to be talking about the 3-way call. So make sure you're registered for it at my website. I'd be talking to you about how to get people on 3-way calls with me. We'd be talking about how to present, which again, we're going to touch on the 18th at your live event. And I'm going to ask you to send me the events. Once you send me the events, we're going to put it on the calendar and I'm going to train you. I always work with you do this, then I do that. I'm going to invest a lot of time in those early days. And what do we do past those 30 days? We focus on income producing activities. So when you have an event or when you have a call that you want me to be a part of, I'm there. I've got an open calendar every day during the week, except for Sundays. I'm available for your income producing activity. And I always have systems in place for the rest of the people who want to learn, be loved on, and plug in. But here's the thing, guys. It is their choice. It is their choice if they plug in. Here's the thing people can't say about me as a leader. They can't say that I'm not available. They can't. They can't say that I don't have great resources for them to plug into. They can't. But the thing that they can do is personally own, you know what? I didn't really plug in for those calls. I never leveraged your time in doing an event. When I hear people say things, about leaders, they'll say things like, oh, well, they only work with leaders. I thought everybody has the potential to be a leader, although that statement is not true. There's some truth in the statement, meaning everybody has the chance to step up and lead. Everybody has the chance to plug in. Everybody has the chance to earn leaders' time. Guys, I've spoken a lot with John Maxwell, and I sit on one of his advisory boards actually for the network marketing profession. And he talks about how not everybody earns his time. Everybody says, oh, John, I want to be around you. Of course they do. He's one of the greatest leaders in leadership of our time. I want to learn from you. I want to be mentored by you. Do you think that John Maxwell works with every single person in his organization? No. There's a hierarchy of leadership, right? But he always says people have to qualify. They have to earn your time. So again, let me be super clear. It is our job to get people off to a great start in this industry. But then it is their job to plug in. It's their job to plug in, to bring you calls, to do the events. So I want to ask you, as the learner, right? As the learner, we're going to talk about learners and leaders, or leaners and leaders, but we're going to talk about the learner first. Are you coachable? And are you committed? Are you doing the things that your sponsor asked you to do when you get started? If they said plan an event, do you have one on the calendar? Then don't be whining about your leader. You've got to ask yourself, are you a leader or are you a leaner? Which are you? Only you get to determine who you become in this business. Now, Beyond those first 30 days, I believe in having systems in place for people to plug in because people's timing do change. I've had people who a few years down the road, they decide, you know what, now's my time. I want to be successful. They plug into the business. They do great things. And I think that's awesome. So always make sure that you have platforms in place for people to thrive and for people to succeed. And for me, I'm like, every day you can plug into my calendar for 3-way calls. I'll talk to your people about the business and the products. I'll close them for you. I'll do your events. But you've got to take that first step. I'm not going to chase you to do the business. I tell new people when they join, I'll do 10 calls a day if you want to. But if you want to do 0, I'm not going to chase you to do the business. I'm not. It's independent business ownership. It is your business. You get to decide the level of effort that you want to put forth. But don't say about me that I was not available because I'm available. You've got my call. You've got my schedule every day. It's up to you. You dictate the amount of time and attention that you get from me based on the effort that you're putting forth, because I'm not going to chase you to do the business. But if you have me on calls all day, guess what? I'll be on calls for 8 hours with you today. 8 hours. But you dictate what that relationship and what that schedule looks like by your effort, not mine. It's not my job to chase you to do the business, okay? Next, leaders. I want to speak to you guys today because we talked a lot about leadership and our responsibility as a leader. You know, when leaders come to me and they say things like, gosh, you know, my team isn't engaging, or we're stagnant, or we've reached a point of complacency, or what is the right word that I'm looking for? You know, like our volume or our sales is kind of leveled off. What do I do? I always ask them some tough questions because tough questions bring out truth, right? And truth is the only way that we change. It's when we're confronted with truth. Look, we could sugarcoat things and talk nice to people all day long, but it's not going to change their situation. It's not going to empower them. It's not going to better them. It's not going to bring them to a better result. I believe in being truthful with people. So when people come to me and they say, hey, we're stagnant, volume's not growing, the team's not growing, I'm reaching a plateau. Thank you, Gretchen. Oh my gosh, I'm tired, guys. I'm really tired. I didn't get good sleep last night. I ask them these questions. Are you engaging? And then is your team engaging? You know, if you're sitting here and you're going, well, my team's not going to the event or they're not going to convention. I'm like, hello, did you go to convention? Don't expect the momentum that comes after convention if you didn't go and your team didn't go. Now, I'm not judging you because you can make that decision. You're an independent business owner. You get to choose. But if you don't show up, don't expect your team to show up. Don't expect them to have that belief built if you're not there. Are we a leader or are we a leaner, right? Are we leading by example for our team? We can't expect them to engage if we don't engage. We can't expect them to go if we don't go. The speed of the leader is the speed of the team. The speed of the leader is the speed of the team. I believe in leading by example in a couple of different ways as a leader. Now, first and foremost, before I get to that, I just simply want to say this. There's two things that happen when leaders slow down and they're not engaging. Number one, their team doesn't engage. Surprise. Number two, resentment starts to set in. Guys, it would be similar to like if you're working for a lazy boss, right? You go and you do all the work and you're like, where is that person? Where is their contribution? We start to feel the same way. Leaders start to become irrelevant. So I believe in leading by example when I lead with pace. So I set the pace for my team. So there's two things that I look for. Number one, personally sponsoring in the business. Here's the thing. When there is a recruiting challenge, people are always like, how did you build a team of over 300,000 people? How'd you guys do over $1 billion in sales? Over $1 billion in sales. How did you recruit over 300 people? Personal activity, consistency. There is nothing that I'm not willing to do that I train on. How am I going to train you on being a good recruiter if I'm not recruiting myself? Therefore, every single time that our company puts forth a challenge, and I've got a lot of people from my company on, they know I will be in the number one spot, and if not at number one, right up there in terms of recruiting and personal activity, because I always believe in leading by example. 11 years in my business, I'm still a top recruiter in my company. I tell people, you don't like where your team's at? You need to build a new one. It's not up to them. It's up to you. It's up to you. You own your success. That's like the bottom line of what we're talking about here today. I would say personal activity is the cure to what ails you in your business. It's easier to give birth than it is to resurrect the dead, right? Pulling people through to the finish line. Keep recruiting. I love what Jamie Walker says on my team. She says, you got a problem in this business as it relates to the business? Do you know Rita? Recruiting is the answer. Recruiting is the answer. Every single time that we face a challenge in our business, oh, you know what? My team's not moving anymore. No amount of incentivizing, no amount of educating, no amount of motivating will bring them out of that place. Guys, if you've got 10 people doing $100 in sales every single month, and they've done that month over month and year after year, they're showing something. They're leaving clues. It's what they're willing to do. So you can either say, you know what, I'm going to take that $1,000 in volume. We're going to stay stagnant. We're going to be complacent. We're going to just stay stuck. And I'm going to keep training and motivating and incentivizing. It's tiring. It's expensive. Or you're going to say, you know what, I'm going back to work myself. I'm going to keep recruiting. I'm going to keep building a team. And this way, I'm going to have 20 people each doing $100 in sales a month. And I've doubled my volume, not relying on other people. And quite frankly, probably putting forth a lot less exhausting, much more fun work. Do you know, Rita? Thank you, Jamie. Recruiting is the answer. Personal activity is the cure to what ails you in your business. Quit pointing fingers and instead turn them around and say, what am I doing? What am I willing to do for success? We over-motivate, we over-incentivize, we over-educate. Yes, we need to educate. Yes, we need to incentivize. We need to do these things for our team. But at what point do we say, that's not the issue? The issue is, I've got to get back to work and I've got to keep building the business. And the second thing that I believe we do to lead by example is putting incentives in our place. Putting systems in place for our team. So guys, every single year or every single week for the past 11 years, I do a training call. Sunday nights, I've never stopped. Every single week, I'm doing virtual events. It's my team's choice to plug in. I'm showing up. I have the systems in place for them to grow, and I have the systems in place to educate them, but it's your choice. It is your choice to plug in. My three-way call schedule, it's open every single day. It's your choice. So my question is for you today as it relates to leadership. Are you a leaner or are you a leader? You have the ability to earn a person's time. Time is our most valuable commodity. It is the currency of relationships. I don't expect to get everybody's time. I don't. I have to show up. I've got to do the work. I believe in earning people's time. And leaders, I want to speak to you for a moment. Are you putting forth the personal effort? Are you really leading by example, doing the hard stuff and showing up? You want your team to have belief? Then build it. You got to be there first. Be the first one to step up and put up your hand. Be the first one to register. Be the first one to recruit. Lead by example with your personal example, your personal activity. Remember, Rita. And put incredible systems in place for your team. You guys pumped up today? And here's the thing. If I offended you, it just means I stirred up something in you. Instead of getting mad, don't get mad at me. Look and say, what can I do to improve my personal leadership? What can I do to personally improve as a learner, right? What can I do to improve myself? This could be the very thing, right? That's calling you to some level of commitment to bring forth the change that you need to actually see a difference in your life. Stop blaming people for your lack of success. Stop blaming people. Own it, people. Own it. The thing is, I did it without a compensation plan. I did it without a training system. I did it without a mentor. I was willing to do the work that it takes. 11 years later, I'm still willing to do the work that it takes. And as they're introducing me to people, they're like, she created one of probably the top teams in network marketing history, man or woman, in terms of the sales, the sponsoring, etc., earnings over time. And I'm just sitting there going, what is your secret? I'm going, I just worked really hard. Okay? I didn't sacrifice the good things in life because I spent a lot of time with my family, but I work hard. And I don't point the finger at other people. I don't point the finger at my upline. I don't point the finger at my downline. I definitely don't point the finger at corporate. Somebody asked a question, by the way. They're like, What do you view that corporate's role as? I was like, to provide us safe and efficacious products and to pay us on time. Well, what is their role in training? I'm like, well, I am so blessed that our company provides great training. They're amazing. But at the end of the day, it's 100% my responsibility. My success is my responsibility. The support and education that I provide to my team, it is my responsibility. I don't look to other people for that. I don't blame other people for that. I look at it and said, what can I personally influence? And I say to my corporate team, thank you. Thank you for protecting our dream. And that's it. Okay? We live in such an entitled society where we think everything is going to be done for us and everybody should do it for us, instead of saying, what can I do to earn this? What can I do to get this person's time? What can I do to achieve this myself? And being a student first, right? Being a student of the profession and serving and loving and giving and growing. Guys, I love people. Let me just tell you, I think it's very hard out there today to find somebody who serves as much as I do and loves as much as I do as it relates to literally the free stuff that I give every single day on this generic training platform and to all of my teams. I love people. I want to see people succeed. But I also equally want to see people get out of their own way and stop getting so stuck with what's in here, what's in their mind. People holding on to unforgiveness, resentment, bitterness, blame, all of these things. You're never going to get unstuck. You're never going to be successful if you're stuck in here, guys. I love you enough to deliver this to you today and say, you know what? You may say after today, I'm not even going to tune into her every more because she called me out on my hard stuff. She embarrassed me a little bit. Guys, you are too good to be stuck. You are too good to stay stuck. You have far too much potential for yourself, potential to change lives, potential to change this world. So I want you to get up today and really own your leadership. Be a leader, not a leaner. Be a contributor, right? Be a learner. It's going to be so incredible to watch, to see during the season how your lives change and your business changes too. And by the way, because I've been so fired up, I forgot to thank those of you that are sharing these on team pages. I see it. Thank you. I want to invite you guys to a really special class that I'm doing on October 18th. And it's for leaders and aspiring leaders. It's called Power Presenting. I'm going to be teaching you guys how I lead. I'm going to be teaching you how I do three-way calls. I'm going to be teaching, and they're 100% essential if you're looking to build a team that replicates and to become a good leader. I'm going to be teaching you how we do live events and virtual events. I'm going to teach you how to get great results in power prospecting and rocking your recruiting online and in person. So if you are not registered yet, guys, go and register now at my website, sarahrobbins.com. Look for, under the store, Power Presenting. Register for that course. It's on the 18th. If you can't make it live, there's going to be a replay. All companies are welcome, but guys, I believe it's going to be one of the best investments that you make. If you're sitting there and you kind of felt convicted today, don't be mad at me. You become better, not bitter, right? Become better, not bitter. Thank you, Naomi, for posting the link to it below. Now's your chance. Now's your chance to step up to the plate and you say, you know what? I'm going to become a learner so I can become a leader. When people tell me I can't afford to, I'm like, you cannot afford not to. What is your why worth? What is your why worth? I'm going to be teaching you exactly how we've done the things that we have. And guys, I truly do hope from the bottom of my heart that it empowers you, that it encourages you, and that it truly helps you to rock your network marketing business. So not only your life has changed, but the lives of the people who will come after you, that it's changed as well. Think about your legacy, guys. It's something that you create today. It's all about bringing people on the journey that they have been longing for, right? Your blessing, other people's blessings are tied to your obedience. I hope to see you guys on the 18th. All right, guys, I know it was a tough topic, so let me know you're still out there. Post below, what did you learn? What are you feeling for today? Who knows what I'll talk about tomorrow? Don't worry, don't be scared to come back here tomorrow. Sorry if I offended some people, but I love you enough to deliver this to you so you don't stay stuck. Okay, I want you to rise to the challenge, step into your leadership, your greatness, because guys, the world is waiting for it. They're waiting for you. All right, guys, I love you so much. I love you. I hope you see that and feel that every day in what I share. God bless you. I pray blessings over you, and I hope to see you on October 18th, if not sooner, like here tomorrow, for another free prospecting tip of the day. Have a great day, guys. God bless. And goodbye for now. Rock on, rock stars.